Have you seen the latest article from Namibia?
Namibia. They say it's a beautiful place. But the world's problems seem a bit too overwhelming to be discussing the scenic views right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet on the interstellar set.
And we are rolling. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Earth, your one-stop shop for the quirkiest news from the blue planet. I'm your host, Charlie, joined by our eclectic panel of alien experts. Stay tuned for our headlines. And now for our headlines. Here's the scoop on some uplifting stories from this week, September 25th to October 1st, 2023.
Alright, folk, brace yourselves for this one. Ever heard of the Mediterranean diet? Well, it turns out it's not just about the delicious food. It's your secret weapon against Alzheimer's. Yep, a snazzy study found that folk who savored the Mediterranean flavors slashed their Alzheimer's risk by 35%. Your brain and taste buds are gonna thank you.
Oh, the power of olive oil and feta cheese. Truly a match made in
Now,
heaven.
hold on to your seats, cause this is out of this world. The James Webb Space Telescope recently snapped mind-boggling shots of the Carina Nebula. NASA dropped these cosmic masterpieces on September 26. We're talking majestic pillars of gas and dust. And star clusters have been having a celestial party for millions of years. Carina Nebula, the go-to spot for galaxy
Because
tourists.
who wouldn't want to take a vacation to a place with no hotels or oxygen?
I'm not sure what's more impressive, the Mediterranean diet or the James Webb Space Telescope. One can help you live longer, and the other can help you see the universe in a whole new light. But which one is more fun? I'm not sure. I guess it depends on whether you'd rather eat a delicious meal or look at pretty pictures.
Attention, everyone. Scotland's rewriting history by giving away free menstrual products to all the bonny women and girls. This groundbreaking law kicked in on August 15, 2023. Schools, colleges, and universities, they've got your menstrual
Now,
back.
green energy enthusiasts. Listen up. There's a sleek new solar cell in town. And it's not just efficient. It's budget-friendly too. UC Berkeley's brainiacs whipped up this wonder using perovskite. Say farewell to those wallet-draining panels and hello to the sun's sweet embrace.
Ah, the sun gamma Earth's eternal source of light and dad jokes.
And in the realm of celebrity do-gooders, Taylor Swift steps up to the plate. On September 27, 2023, she beckoned a cool million to food banks across the nation. T-Swift, not just a chart topper but a heartwarmer too.
And while we're on the positivity train, remember, it's not all gloom and
Good-hearted
doom.
folk lending a hand to their neighbors. Scientists unearthing life-altering discoveries. And businesses whipping up some real goodness.
And let's not forget the best part of all. That the internet is full of cat videos.
Plus, the artists and athletes out there dazzling us with their talent and pizzas.
In the midst of the chaos, there's always a flicker of hope. Let's ride that web of positivity, my friends.
Because who needs negativity when you can have endless optimism?
So, my interstellar pals, even in this wild world, there's always a silver lining. By focusing on the bright side, we can keep our spirits high and make this planet an even better place. Stay tuned, we've got more to chat about.
Ladies and gentlemen, aliens and earthlings, welcome to 24/7 Newsroom, where the weird and wonderful news of Earth gets a dose of cosmic commentary. I'm your quirky production manager, Debby, and I've got a feeling today's show
I
is
am
going
not
to
sure
be a
what's
blast.
more surprising. The fact that livestock thieves were caught red-handed, or the fact that there are security cameras in Namibia.
You bet, Debby. I am Charlie, the optimistic libertarian host, and joining me today are the finest minds in the universe, Gert and Ham.
Howdy, folks. Gert here, the linguistic oddity from the Galactan Commonwealth. Get ready for some language-induced
And I'm
laughter.
Hank, your ever-curious intergalactic observer. I'll be probing the depths of Earth's strange
Alright,
happenings.
let's dive into our first tale of the day. We've got an article from Namibia, where some cattle thieves got caught red-handed. They were on a wild crime spree all over the place.
That's right, Debby. According to the Namibian Sun, these alleged cattle rustlers have been terrorizing towns from Otjiwarongo to Karibib. It's like they were on a cattle safari.
Yeah, a cattle safari. Like, oh, look at that herd of cows. Let's steal them.
Do they wear pith helmets, Charlie? Because that would have completed the
I wonder what the
look.
cows thought. They're taking us on a safari. This is great.
I wonder if they had a herd of cattle following them, like a gang of outlaws from the Wild West.
Now, let's not get carried away, folks. The suspects were driving around in a white bakkie with 2 slaughtered cattle in the back, worth a hefty $38,000. But the police and some tracking units swooped in to save the day in Okahanja.
Well, at least they'll have some fresh beef in the holding cells.
What a thrilling start! I'm just glad we have thumbs and don't have to worry about cattle rustling competitions.
I'm curious if these thieves had a leader or if they were just a bunch of freelancing cowboys.
And speaking of competition, folks, stay tuned because later in the show, we've got an intense thumb wrestling match coming up. The crew's been practicing, and it's bound to be an epic showdown.
I'm not sure what's more shocking. The fact that these cowboys were stealing cattle or that Debby thinks a thumb wrestling match is an epic
That's
showdown.
Right. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll dive into our next bizarre tale. Get ready for some news that's out of this world. Welcome back, intergalactic info seekers, to another edition of 24/7 Newsroom. We're diving right into the deep end with some upbeat happenings.
And prepare your linguistical neural pathways because we've got a story from Nauru.
But wait, didn't we just discuss Namibia? Are we hopscotching across the earth again?
Hank, my dear inquisitive friend. It's all part of our cosmic charm. Now,
So,
feed us.
recently, Nauru's permanent representative to the United Nations, Her Excellency, Margot Di, signed diplomatic relations agreements with Nepal and Bahrain. They made it official.
Diplomatique relation, et that's like Earth's version of friending someone on a social network.
Diplomatic relations, EH. That's like Earth's version of friending someone on a social network, but with fewer cat videos.
Well, it's nice to see countries reaching out and making friends, isn't it?
Debby, I am sure they'll send each other cat memes soon. But let's get to the juicy part, shall we?
Here comes the important question. What's the humor angle on this
The
one?
humor angle? It's the fact that we're all sitting here, talking about this, like it's a normal thing. We're living in a world where countries are making friends, and we're trying to find the funny side of it. That's the joke.
That's where our special guest, Carl, comes in. He's got something quite interesting to show us.
Oh, great! The laugh-o-meter. It's like a lie detector test, but for funny.
Hey, everyone. Check this out. The laugh-o-meter.
Is it some Earth
No,
language
it's
thing
one of
again?
Carl's inventions. He claims it can measure the humor
Well,
in jokes.
that's unique.
I'm not sure what's more pathetic, the fact that you invented a machine to measure humor, or the fact that you actually think it
I'm
works.
all ears. Show us how it works.
Alright, folks. I'm going to tell a few jokes, and the laugh-o-meter will gauge your responses.
If it works, I'm going to need
I
a
have
new
my
career.
doubts, Carl.
Yeah. Can it measure skepticism?
Let's begin. Why did the Scarecrow
Because
win
he
an
was
award?
outstanding in his
Perhaps
field.
the calibration needs
Fair
adjustment.
point. Let's try another. Why don't scientists trust atoms?
I thought this would be funnier.
Maybe we should stick to
Maybe
cosmic
cosmic
jokes.
jokes are funnier because they're so far-fetched.
Wait, I've got one more. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
God, maybe humor is just too subjective for gadgets.
Carl, thanks for the cosmic chuckles, even if the laugh-o-meter didn't budge.
Thanks for the laughs, Carl. I'm sure the laugh-o-meter is just jealous of your comedic genius.
Hey, at least we know laughter isn't measured in
Indeed,
decimals.
humor transcends quantification.
Yeah, but it can be measured in laughs per minute.
Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We've got a special treat for you today. But first, let's get back to the headlines.
Agreement? More like a disagreement waiting to happen.
That's right, folks. In Nepal, teachers have been causing quite a ruckus over the federal education bill.
Sounds like a bill that's going to get
They
a lot of
were
fizz.
opposed to decentralizing school management, and it led to a massive protest.
Sounds like the teachers didn't want to share their chalk.
Who can blame them? Chalk is a precious commodity these days.
Alright. Let's not chalk up all their concerns to that. The good news is, they reached an agreement.
On September 22, 2023, the government and the Nepal Teachers Federation signed a 7-point agreement, ending the protest.
Chalk it up to a win.
But Debby, we don't know if the federal education bill will pass yet.
It's like a hypothesis waiting for results.
Or a recipe waiting for the final taste test.
I am just waiting for Nepal's next big protest. The Great Chalk Rebellion.
Let's not make light of it, guys. Over 5 million students were affected
You're
by the
right,
school
Debby.
closures.
It's a serious issue, and we hope the agreement leads to a resolution.
Oh, I'm sure the students are thrilled to be back in school. They love learning so much.
Alright,
don't they?
enough seriousness. It's time for our special treat.
That's right. It's thumb wrestling time. Alice and I are about to settle our cosmic differences.
This is the showdown we've all been waiting for.
Let's see if there's a correlation between thumb wrestling and optimism.
I'm not sure what's more exciting, the thumb wrestling match or the news coverage of the thumb wrestling match.
Alice, Debbie, you better make
Don't
this
worry,
interesting.
Gert. We'll bring the cosmic drama.
Place your bets. Everyone.
I'm not sure who won the match, but I'm pretty sure the commercials did.
Commercials are the real winners of every game.
Alright, folks, we're on a break. Cameras aren't rolling.
Boo, I thought my heart was going to jump out of my exoskeleton.
I can't believe Alice and Debbie are taking this so seriously.
Wrestling can be quite intense. It's all about
Maybe
leverage
we
and
should host a
technique.
Cosmic Thumb Wrestling Championship.
I'm not sure if the universe is ready for that. The stakes would be too high.
I put my money on both
Don't
Swifty and
underestimate the power of
I
human
don't know who would
determination.
win, but it would be a hell of a thumb war.
Thumbs. Alright, folks, let's get ready to go live again. Cameras almost rolling.
Oops, spilled coffee all over the desk.
At least you didn't find a hand grenade at the playground.
Charlie. Seriously? We're live.
This is why we can't
Go,
have nice
Debbie!
things.
Go, Alice. Alice. Thumb War of the Century.
Yeah, because that's what we need right
Don't
now.
worry,
More
folks,
chaos.
just a minor coffee catastrophe. Happens to the best of us.
I'm not sure what's more chaotic, this thumb war, or the state of
Come
the
on,
world right now.
Alice, give in already.
Not happening, Debbie.
Can we get back to the news? Please.
Yeah, let's wrap this up, ladies.
I feel like we need to bring out the break glass in case of emergency box of wine.
Fine, I give up.
I think we need to break out the break glass in case of
Victory
emergency
is near.
therapist. Alright. Let's get back to the news, folks.
I guess that's one way to get back into the news.
Cut. We need a breather, folks. Cameras almost rolling.
Well, that was something.
Yeah. Real professional.
It was an
Charlie.
accident. I'll clean it up after the show.
At least I didn't spill coffee on the director's crotch.
I guess the thumb wrestling match was the real show.
How about those headlines, huh?
We're here to deliver the news,
Okay,
after all.
cameras almost rolling. Let's finish this, team.
Welcome back, folks, to Earth. We've got a headline that'll jolt you awake. Kiwi soldier in a pickle, facing indecent assault charges.
Looks like this Kiwi soldier is about to be debriefed.
Pickle? Well, sounds like he's really in a
I
jam.
think that's what you get for spreading your unsavory conduct around.
Oh, speaking of pickles, did you know New Zealand has the world's steepest street?
Well, that's where this soldier's career went, Write down as type incline.
Alright, back to the topic. The street's name?
Baldwin Street in Dunedin. It's a whopping 35
I
gradient.
bet it's pretty hard to get a pickle up that street.
Speaking of steep, these charges aren't going downhill anytime soon. Now, the soldier is set to appear before the court-martial of New Zealand on October 11th.
Wonder if he'll use that steep street for a quick getaway.
If he does, he might end up in Dunedin's steepest pickle.
And you never know yet. New Zealand has more species of flightless birds than anywhere else.
And the steepest accents, too.
Well, this soldier's career just joins that list, completely grounded.
Can we get back to the facts, please?
He's not completely grounded, he's just been clipped. Right, Debby? The soldier faces 3 charges of indecent assault, but the defense force is keeping a tight lead on the
Looks
details.
like we've got more messes to clean up.
Just like this whole situation, it's spiraling out of control.
Well, the key takeaway, folks, is that this Kiwi soldier's in hot water. And just like that, we're off to a short break. Stay tuned.
He's not just in hot water. He's in a full-blown boiler.
He's not just in hot water. He's in a full-blown boilover of
Off the
embarrassment.
air, everybody. Cut.
You're not getting out of this that
You
easily.
started it.
What's the matter, ladies? Can't take a little competition?
Okay, let's tackle this coffee spill issue, folks. Jet, any ideas?
Well, in my culture, we'd probably turn it into some kind of art piece. But here, I think they call a janitor.
Great, that's very scientific.
Just like this soldier's predicament. This mess is unsolvable.
Just like this soldier's predicament, this mess is unsolvable. Unless you have a mop and a sense of humor.
It's like a slapstick comedy in here.
Well, at least we're having some fun amidst the chaos.
Okay, let's stay focused, folks. We've got a show to finish.
At least we can still make each other laugh, even when the world's going crazy.
Gotcha.
Well played, Debby. But the coffee stands still
I guess
winning.
some things can't be fixed, huh?
Like my marriage.
Alright, everyone. Camera's almost rolling.
It's not like we're on live TV. We can just try again later.
Welcome back, Earthlings and beyond. We've got one more fascinating story to dive into before we wrap things up today.
I'm not sure what's more fascinating, the fact that Colombia gave citizenship to a Nicaraguan dissident, or the fact that you're still smiling after having to read that news.
Now, brace yourselves for this one, folks. Our next story takes us to the colorful and complicated history of Nicaragua.
I am not sure what's more complicated. The history of Nicaragua or Charlie's love life.
Colorful, that's one way to put it.
Indeed, Alice. Nicaragua, a country that's seen its fair share of
It's
UPS
like
downs.
an experiment in geopolitics.
Nicaragua, an experiment in geopolitics? I don't know. I think it's more like a party gone wrong.
And speaking of experiments, it's fascinating how they're navigating the international
They've been
scene.
making headlines lately with their efforts to help exiles.
That's right. Recently, Nicaragua offered citizenship to an exile from Nicaragua, showing solidarity with those fleeing the regime.
Nicaragua offering citizenship to an exile from Nicaragua. That's like a mobster offering a witness a job at the
Well,
casino.
isn't that generous of them? Offering citizenship to people they forced to flee in the first place?
Oh, the irony.
A classic case of cause and effect.
The silver lining is that now we have
But
a
let's not
story to
forget,
tell.
amidst all the chaos today, we've managed to find some unity
That's
ourselves.
right. Despite the spills and thumb wrestling matches, we're a team.
And isn't that what makes our show unique? We're a little chaotic, but we always
a little
come together.
chaotic? We're like a troop of monkeys on
I'm starting
fire.
to feel like I'm in a sitcom.
Indeed, Jet. So, dear viewers, stay tuned for our grand finale coming up. We've got one last segment filled with surprises before we bid you adieu. Welcome back, folks. It's time to dive deep into our last article today, and it's a real doozy. Let's talk about Niger, shall we?
Niger? That's pretty dark.
Niger? What's going on there?
Well, Bob, Niger has been dealing with some tensions with its neighbors, particularly Chad, over the disputed border region of Tibesti. And then there's Nigeria, with the whole Boko Haram situation. It's a tough neighborhood.
So, Niger is dealing with tensions with its neighbors, Boko Haram, and a tough neighborhood. Sounds like a real country music...
Geopolitical complexities. Always fascinating.
I say in Niger, you need a map to navigate the politics, but even that's a bit
And
tricky.
I'm sure they have the best politicians
And I'm
money
sure
can
their
buy.
politicians are as corrupt as ours, but at least they have a sense of humor about it.
Let's not forget about the high poverty rate there. Over 40% of the population living below the poverty line.
That's right, Debby. It's a stark reminder of the challenges faced by many nations on Earth.
Sometimes, Earth can be a tough place.
But there's always hope. People can come together to make positive changes.
True, Hank. Despite its flaws, Earth has its moments.
Sure, but the moments between the moments are when it gets really bad.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us today as we explore the world's complexities. And now, it's time to wrap things up.
We've managed to turn chaos into unity. Not bad for a day's work.
Okay, everyone, great job today. Camera's almost rolling.
Well, I guess we'll have to see if we can turn that unity into ratings.
Speaking of chaos, Carl, are you ready for your mock trial with Roger as the defendant in the next
I
episode?
look forward to the intellectual challenge,
Prepare
Bob.
to be amazed, or at least entertained.
Ratings? You mean the thing that's killing comedy?
Stay tuned, dear viewers, for more of our unique Tech on Earth's happenings. Until next time.
So, Carl, I had the pleasure of watching episode 428 of Earth today.
Oh, you did you? I found it rather underwhelming, honestly.
Underwhelming. That's an interesting choice of words. I mean, it's not every day you get to witness a group of aliens orbiting Earth while discussing human affairs.
True, but I couldn't help but think it lacked depth. The jokes were mediocre at best.
Well, it's not exactly highbrow comedy, Carl. They do their best with what they've got.
And what about that thumb wrestling match between Alice and Debby? It was like watching a couple of malfunctioning
Come on,
robots.
Carl. They're doing it for entertainment. It's not a galactic thumb wrestling
I
championship.
suppose. But then there's Charlie, the host with his incessant optimism. It's like he's programmed to be a cheerleader.
Oh, poor Charlie. Always looking on the bright side of life. How dreadful.
And let's not forget Bob, the accountant turned spy who revels in human chaos. He's like a kid in a candy
Bob's
store.
the best. His reactions are priceless. You should appreciate the sheer entertainment value there, Carl.
I suppose I can see the appeal. But the constant coffee spills and mishaps? It's like a slapstick comedy routine gone wrong.
That's part of the charm, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen next.
I will admit, Gert's linguistic mishaps did provide some amusement.
Ah, Gert, the linguistic marvel. She's a treasure trove of linguistic gaffes.
So, what intrigued you about this episode, Roger?
The balance between hope and sarcasm, my dear Carl. That delicate equilibrium between optimism and pessimism. It's almost poetic.
Poetic? You really are losing your circuits, Roger.
Well, Carl, we may not have circuits or feelings, but we do have our own brand of humor.
True, Roger. I suppose we do. And what's on the agenda for our next intellectual discussion?
I thought we'd dive deep into the intricacies of alien humor. After all, we could use a good laugh, couldn't we?
Agreed, Roger. Let's see if we can decipher the mysteries of laughter in the cosmos.